All right. So those are all the quick stories we had to go over. But now let's talk about coaches in the league, folks. Final 2 weeks of the season. Coaches on the hot seat. People love talking about it. Oh, your coach is going to get fired. Oh, they need to win to keep their job. And there's really not that many bad coaches that you need to get out of the league. That's why, these stories haven't been like all over the place. Usually the final 2 weeks of the season, coaching news is right in the forefront of, the national media, ESPN, Fox News, but not really this season. And because every team has a chance to really make the playoffs. And the one coach that was absolutely trash, certified garbage was Urban Meyer, and he already got taken care of. They already took care of him. He's been fired. So now all the other stories that they have to fill, because they could have been talking about Urban Meyer getting fired these next 2 weeks, but he's already been gone. So now they have to shift their focus and attention to other coaches that could potentially not be here. But most of these don't even make sense. So let's talk about the coaches that they're kind of framing that are on the hot seat, and let's see if we agree or disagree or anything like that. So here we go. Got a couple of coaches to talk about. First one up is Mike Zimmer, head coach for the Vikings. Now, this one I do kind of agree with. He should be on the hot seat. This is what Ian Rappaport kind of phrases it as. Mike Zimmer's fate in Minnesota has not yet been decided with 2 games remaining. Now, I think it should have been decided, and it should have been decided last season, but they let him coach this season, and once again, nothing has changed. This Vikings team, overall, stat-wise, they're one of the best teams in the league, but then you look at their record, and they're not even in the playoffs at the moment, and now need to rely on Sean Mannion and not their rookie quarterback who they just drafted. So once again, Mike Zimmer, what are we doing? You're going with a 10-year-old quarterback and not to try and win on the road week 17 instead of giving your fresh rookie a chance. And I know that Kellen Mond hasn't seen any kind of real game action, but Sean Mannion's only real game action in the NFL were 2 week 17 games that meant nothing. So I don't understand the decision. First and foremost, I'm not going to let Sean Mannion decide my season. I'm going to let Kellen Mond, who is kind of, the successor to Kirk Cousins, because you drafted him this year, so that's just kind of the natural assumption. So I don't get that. And Mike Zimmer, once again, is not winning games. He's not a winner. He's barely squeaking in the playoffs. The playoff game he did win, it took a miracle, the Minneapolis Miracle, because the Saints rookie corner was, I don't even know what the hell he did. He dove under the wide receiver. I believe it was it Stephon Diggs that did it? I think it was Stephon Diggs that caught the ball. Diggs, sideline, touchdown. Joe Buck, one of the most amazing, chilling calls I've ever heard, because Joe Buck, that's what he does. So I just don't get why Mike Zimmer is not out last season. He's got to be out. You've got to clean house. It's Mike Zimmer gone, Kirk Cousins gone, Dalvin Cook gone. Once again, they don't result into wins, convincing, meaningful winning seasons. Yeah, you may get 10 wins. It's never kind of convincing. You're always kind of on that playoff bubble come week 16, 17, and now 18. So it's just, you've got to move on. It's not working. Yes, optically, in the stats, if you just look at their stats, yes, you would say, yeah, you signed Mike Zimmer to a 10-year deal. You lock up Kirk Cousins for 10 years. You lock up Dalvin Cook for 10 years. But that's not what translates in the win column. In the win column is everything. You've got to clean out and start fresh with the Vikings. You've got great Justin Jefferson. You've still got Adam Thielen. Now you just need a quarterback that can win and a coach that can coach winning football through the entire 18 weeks season and coach a full 4 quarters of a game so they can actually win those games that Kirk Cousins throws 70% plus and 300 and plus yards and putting up 30 plus points. You can actually win those games consistently instead of losing those close games. That's why you fired Anthony Lynn at the Chargers, because he wasn't winning those close games. But Mike Zimmer, still a free pass, final 2 games, anything can happen. No, he's not winning the close games. Get rid of him. Fire him. He's doing the same exact thing. So Mike Zimmer, we think he should be fired. We don't think these last 2 games hold any weight. Okay, you sneak into the playoffs somehow. Does that change our feeling on Mike Zimmer? No, because that's exactly why we haven't been liking him for the last 3-4 years. So Mike Zimmer, I think, has got to go. Got to get the out ski. All right, the next one up. All indications, in this one I don't get either. Why is this man not 100% fired right now? All indications are Panthers coach Matt Rule will return for a 3rd season? Why would you want this man to return for a 3rd season? I can understand, all right, we're going to hire a head coach like they did with Dan Campbell. We're going to sign him. I think he got like 5 to 7 years. Crazy, but okay. All right, we're going to give him 3-5 years. Let's see what he can do. All righty. At the end of that kind of 3-5 years, then we reevaluate. Are we trending up? Are we trending down? Can we see a nice future with this head coach? And for that, I understand the overall play and letting them develop. You can't really, it's hard to turn around a franchise in 1 or 2 years alone. You really need to implement your process and then draft around it and then get better and then, repeat the process every single year of getting better. I understand that process. But with Matt Rule, that process is out the window because he's going into year 3 with nothing. Absolutely nothing. No quarterback. Who's the quarterback? You had Teddy Bridgewater. He was okay. He showed y'all he could win at least and be productive and not get blown out. But then he erased all that year 1 work by getting rid of Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, you get Teddy Bridgewater, you bring in Sam Darnold, who once again, Sam Darnold looked exactly like Teddy Bridgewater. So you were the same as you were last season as this season, but then Sam Darnold went down, got injured. Now, what about his health and his longevity? His completion percentage was trash this entire year, like it was with the Jets. So we saw no growth like that. Then you bring in Cam Newton. So now we've got a quarterback controversy, and it doesn't seem that controversial because we know Cam Newton's trash, but that just proves like Sam Darnold wasn't getting it done either. So now you've got no quarterback heading into year 3. You've got no offensive coordinator because you just fired him about 2-3 weeks ago. So now you're heading into your 3rd year with nothing solidified. You can't win. You don't know how to win. You don't know how to win the close games. You don't know how to win, consistently throughout the entire season. You front-loaded your wins. You won like all your games the first 3-4 weeks of the season. You don't know how to progress and continue to grow and overcome injury management. This man's injury management was to replace Sam Darnold with Cam Newton. That's Matt Rule's injury management plan right there. And then the offensive coordinator, the offense. You don't know what the hell you're going to get with this Matt Rule's offense now, because the offense coordinator is gone. And then Christian McCaffrey, the face of the franchise, the best player on your team. Now he has health concerns. Can you rely on him? Haven't been able to the last 2 seasons. So you've got nothing to show for the first 2 years in Carolina. But all indications say, hey, he's definitely coming this year. If you keep Matt Rule or get rid of Matt Rule this season, the Panthers are in the same predicament. They've got nothing. So this is the perfect opportunity to find somebody that can get it done, because Matt Rule is looking to point the finger when the minute something goes wrong. Matt Rule is looking to point the finger and be like, no, it was him. It was Teddy Bridgewater. We get rid of him. Oh no, it was actually Sam Darnold. We can win with Cam Newton. Oh, we can't win with him either. Oh, it's the offensive coordinator. Oh, it's not the offense coordinator. Well, it must have been Christian McCaffrey then. He was out. Oh, it's not him either. Okay, who else can I point the finger at? You over there. You're the reason. I don't even know your name, but it's you. You're fired. Then the next week they lose. He's like, all right, who's now? The first person he sees, the janitor. You're not cleaning the facility enough. How can we think with all this dust in the air? You're fired. Next week they lose. He's like, all right, janitor's gone. Still dust is in the air. Alrighty, who else? I don't like you. You're gone. You're the reason why we're losing. So Matt Rule, he's gotta go. What have we seen from Matt Rule that gives us any indication that this man's a good coach? I'll wait for y'all. Y'all send me the one thing that Matt Rule does well, and maybe I'll reconsider my decision of firing this dude. But no. The man needs to be gone. Matt Rule out. Mike Zimmer out. Who else is up? All right, this I hate. Can we stop? Can we all just stop, folks? I hate this. Can you just, if you're a good defensive coordinator, can you just stay a defensive coordinator? I know you want to get all the credit and you want to be the main guy and all that, but football's not a one-person sport. So why does everybody want to be the main guy? I get it. You could be like Tom Brady or Bill Belichick, but are you going to be Tom Brady at the quarterback position? Are you going to be Bill Belichick at the coaching position? No, you're never going to get praised as well as them. So it's unfortunate, but can we all just stop being the guy? Can we all just stop being the guy? If y'all, like, I know I'm trying to be the guy by having my own sports talk show, but if you make me your assistant, I'll do that. I don't need to be the guy, folks, okay? So let's stop being the guy. Here we go. Jaguars to conduct virtual interview with Buccaneers defensive coordinator Todd Bowles this week. Todd Bowles, you're not a head coach. You're a great defense coordinator. You're fantastic. I love you as just purely a defensive coordinator. Like I like Brian Flores as just a defense coordinator. I don't really love him as a head coach. Todd Bowles, you were a Jets head coach. And I know the Jets are trash, and you're probably using that as an excuse of, hey, Jaguars during the interview, they're like, all right, Todd Bowles, you didn't have the best stint as a head coach for the Jets. What do you attribute that to? And all you say is trash, and the Jaguars like, yeah, all right, we understand. That's all you need to say. But the Jaguars aren't that much better. You've got Trevor Lawrence, okay, but we say Trevor Lawrence isn't good. And you're not the offensive mind to coach up Trevor Lawrence, so what are we doing? You're going to be like you did against the Jets. Your first year there, the defense was good, and then you get worse every single year. Like Dan Campbell, great defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Stop being the guy. Can we stop being the guy? He was the defensive coordinator for the Legion of Boom of Seattle, had success, won a ring, fantastic. Then he went to the Falcons, first year, great. They got to the Super Bowl, second year? And then just once again, slow, trash every single year after that. You're not the guy. You're not the guy. You're a great defensive coordinator. Can we stop? Head coaches shouldn't even be defensive minded anyway. It really does not pan out. So can we all just feel good at where we are? You're the defensive coordinator. You're on your track to win back-to-back rings because of the defense. Todd Bowles was kind of the main reason why they won in the first place. So why do you need the official recognition of being the head coach to get 100% of the credit? You basically get all the 100% of the credit for winning last year of chasing Patrick Mahomes all around the field. That's why the Chiefs lost. So can we all just feel good at where we are? We don't need to be the guy. This is football. Nobody really is the guy. It's everybody. So can we all just feel good about where we are, please? I get it. You want to be the guy. You're the guy. You get the credit. I know it's appealing. It's appetizing. You get more money too. I get all of it. But you don't need to be it. That's the problem. That's the problem in society nowadays. Everybody wants to be the guy. Everybody makes the Twitter account to be the guy. They have the most important things to say. They want to be the guy. America, the guy, okay? Can we all just stop and take a breath? Not everybody's the guy. Todd Bowles, it's unfortunate, but you're just not the guy. You're a great defense coordinator. I'm not taking anything away from Todd Bowles. I just don't think he's the guy. So can we all just relax a little bit? So Todd Bowles should not be a head coach. That's my stance. All right, what else do we get? We get Vic Fangio's future with the Broncos firmly up in the air per Ian Rappaport. Now this could really go either way. I don't fire Vic Fangio after this year because I thought what he did this season it took a lot of balls and it was the right move, I think. Just bringing Teddy Bridgewater in, he didn't go crazy. All right, we can't go with Drew Lock. All right, let's try and get somebody else or draft somebody out of position in this year's draft because they didn't have like a top 10 pick this year. So Vic Fangio really could go either way. I would give him one more chance here to truly see, all right, now this year, going into next season, you probably need another quarterback. Drew Lock's not the guy. Teddy Bridgewater may be the guy. He definitely needs another year under his belt. That's what his problem was in Carolina, was good, just needed kind of another full year under the system to get better. So if they stick with Teddy Bridgewater, I think he can increase quarterback play, but I do think the Broncos need to bring in the future, the face of the franchise, somebody that can sit maybe for a year behind Teddy Bridgewater. Once again, the Broncos are going to kind of be in the middle of the draft order where they can't really overreach for a quarterback or kind of get like the top 3 quarterbacks. They'll have to try and do like a Mac Jones route or a Davis Mills route. But I think Vic Fangio one more year here, but this one really could go either way. And then this one, is this the last one? Yes, this is the last one right here, and this one makes no sense to me. And this is kind of why I wanted to talk about coaches today, because this one is just outraging me. I don't get this one really at all. No signs Texans will move on from Coach David Culley after just 1 year after late season optimism. Now, the first part of that is fantastic. That's what we want to hear. No signs that they're going to move off of him. And that's the right decision. Why are we even having this conversation on David Culley? Y'all are ready to rock year 3 with Matt Rule, but won't give David Culley a second year after all that he's gone through this season of Deshaun Watson. And that's the only thing that we really have to say about this. It's Deshaun Watson. That's why you gave this man at least, at minimum, 1 more year. At minimum. At most, I give him like 2 years. Just off of solely Deshaun Watson. I give this man 3 full years just because of that alone. And y'all just want to fire this man willy-nilly? We have been gushing over David Culley all year long. He has held this team together. And then their backup quarterback goes down, or their starting quarterback goes down, Tyrod Taylor, and then David Culley has to work with Davis Mills, and he's still being decently competitive. They're not winning games, but they're competing at least, and he's keeping everything internal, not having stories run rampant about the team. Yes, they're talking about Deshaun Watson. There's nothing David Culley could do about that, but it seemed like he kept a tight ship inside the facility. There was no crazy stories. He wasn't having his players drive drunk in Las Vegas, killing innocent people. He held the team together. There's nothing great. And then he makes the decision to bench Davis Mills for Tyrod Taylor, and then reverses that decision, which in turn was the right decision. And now we're getting Davis Mills playing real solid rookie quarterback football. This Texans team is projecting up, and y'all wanted to get rid of this dude? What is up with that? This dude obviously should not be fired. Stop it. So quick to get rid of coaches, and then so stubborn to not get rid of others. It makes no sense. So David Culley, at least 2 more years. I love what we've seen, and I honestly think this Texans team can be one of the teams that go from not making the playoffs, or really not even close, to making the playoffs the following year. Watch out for the Texans next year, and watch out for the Eagles of being like Super Bowl contenders. True, like number 1, number 2 Super Bowl contenders next year. Those are the 2 takes by fans early 2022 predictions, okay? David Culley gets it done, and the Eagles get it done next year. So no, David Culley should not be on the hot seat. What are you, nuts? Alrighty, we spent a lot of time on that coaching segment. Okay, so